Welcome to the Loudoun County Health Department Quick Training for the Vaccine Administration Management System, or VAMS. In this video, we'll review the steps to check in a vaccine recipient to a COVID-19 vaccine pod clinic using the VAMS system. COVID-19 vaccine pod clinic staff working at the intake station will use the recipient check-in tab in the clinic portal of the VAMS system. To get to the recipient check-in tab in the clinic portal of the VAMS system, first log into VAMS. Select the clinic portal. Select Loudoun Health District to access the Loudoun Health District clinic portal, or the name of the pod clinic that you will be working at. The first tab to the left of the screen is the Recipient Check-in tab. This is the tab that you will use to check in recipients at the pod clinic. If a vaccine recipient has made an appointment in the VAMS system prior to arriving at the pod clinic, the check-in process is very simple. However, to make an appointment prior to arriving at the pod clinic or as a walk-in, the recipient must first have been added to the VAMS system by their employer or employer organization. To check in a recipient that has made an appointment in the VAMS system prior to arriving at the pod clinic, simply find the patient in the list of today's appointments in the Recipient Check-in tab, or use the search bar to search for the recipient by email address. To search by email, type the email address used by the recipient's employer organization to register the recipient in VAMS. If the recipient has not made an appointment prior to arriving at the pod clinic, a walk-in appointment can be made, but the recipient will need to access their VAMS account to complete the vaccine screening form, as well as other documentation such as demographic information and medical history if these sections of the vaccine registration were not completed earlier. If the VAMS system is not accessible during the pod clinic, paper forms can be used to register and check in a vaccine recipient. First, let's check in a recipient who has made an appointment in the VAMS system prior to arriving at the pod clinic. Find the recipient's name in the list of today's appointments, or search by email address. Select Check in Recipient. If the recipient has completed the required documentation prior to arrival, you will simply need to verify the identity of the individual. However, if the recipient has not completed the pre-vaccination questionnaire, the recipient will need to log into their account to complete the pre-vaccination questionnaire in order for them to be able to receive the vaccine. If the vaccine recipient has completed all of their documentation prior to arriving at the pod clinic, the check-in process is very simple. Simply select Check-in Recipient. You will verify that the recipient has completed their pre-vaccination questionnaire, verify the recipient demographic information and identity of the individual, and select Next. This ends the process, and this individual has been checked in, but sometimes you will have to refresh your screen in order for that individual to be removed from the list of today's appointments. You now see that that individual has been moved out of the check-in tab and can be found in the Manage Appointments tab, ready for vaccine administration. To create appointments for walk-in recipients, select Create an Appointment. And then search for the individual using the email address from the organization that has enrolled them in VAMS. If the individual had made an appointment prior to coming to the pod clinic and had missed that earlier appointment or has arrived earlier than the scheduled appointment, you can cancel the existing appointment and reschedule a walk-in appointment. And now the walk-in appointment has successfully been created. At this point, you will need to return to the Recipient Check-in tab, find the individual in the list of today's appointments, and then check in the individual. When canceling an appointment and creating a new appointment, the recipient will be required to complete their pre-vaccination questionnaire again. So in this case, the individual would need to access their individual VAMS account, complete the pre-vaccination questionnaire, and then you will be able to finish the check-in process. This completes the review of recipient check-in using the Recipient Check-in tab in the clinic portal in the Vaccine Administration Management System. Once an individual has been checked in, they will now move through the pod clinic to the vaccine administration station, where vaccine administrators, vaccinators, will use the Manage Appointments tab to complete the vaccination information. These steps will be covered in another video.